It's time for Remodel Revolution. And now, an award-winning contractor with over 40 years' experience. Here is Alex Guthrie.
Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution. We're coming to you from deep in the heart of the great state of Texas. That's Big D. This is a show where there's no sports, no politics, and no mean people. So don't even call me if you're mean. Don't email me, nothing. Be nice. Nice people only. That's all that's allowed. That's why today I have invited a very special guest that's got an incredible product, Miss Sherry Mueller. And we're going to talk about a new blue stone that might replace your idea of the old blue stone that we've been using for many years here. This is an alternative for you if you're a designer, an architect, a home builder, or a homeowner. This is something you want to watch, so stay tuned and we'll be right back. I love Pennsylvania blue stone. It's beautiful. It's soft. It's sandy. It's not too hot when it's really hot outside around the pool. But Pennsylvania blue stone, along with most sandstones like Oklahoma flagstone, any type of flagstone, anything that you rub your hand on and it's real rough and you feel sand coming off of it, is actually a sandstone. It's all beautiful. We all love it. It doesn't matter where it came from. But there are some real challenges when you're installing it. And it's all real expensive. None of it's cheap. And so one of the problems that I've had over the years with bluestone in particular is that I've had to go back and reset it maybe even weeks after we've set it. We might do a giant patio, a pool surround. We normally don't use it inside homes, but maybe if you have a covered porch, you might want to use it there. And the problem is that there's some adhesion problems with it when you use thin set. And now an old time tile person, I want to say a tile guy because they were all guys, would soak them in water before he would lay them. And the reason he does that is because when it dries, it draws in it's not mastic, it draws in the thin set or the concrete that it's set in, and it'll hold it in place. A lot of guys don't do that. They don't know to do that these days. And what happens is after a few weeks, that stone gets loose, and you'll walk out on your patio and because it's all uneven, and you'll step on it and you'll feel it kind of rock under your feet. And it is a problem. So I got a phone call recently from a lady that has a really, really great alternative to it. Her name is Sherry Mueller, and she is a designer here in Dallas. She's from California, another transplant. Huh? Go figure. And she said, Alex, I've got this great alternative, and let's talk about it on the show. Welcome to the show.
Oh,
how are you?
Alex.
How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
thrilled to be here.
Good. We're thrilled to have you. So, say it, Bello Blue. How do you say it? I can't even say it now.
Okay. The company is Bell Blue.
Bell Blue,
which is really just short for Belgian bluestone.
Okay. And so, do they spell bluestone with two O's? And
they do not. They spell it Bleue, if we want to get technical.
Okay.
So we don't want to talk about spelling.
No, because like I was saying earlier, I'm just a Texas boy with a public education. And so when I see a word, I say it the way I see it.
Right,
And
exactly.
it gets me kind of in trouble. And so from time to time. But anyway, tell us about the stone
Okay.
and the company. Tell us about
Okay.
the company.
Well, the company in a nutshell. So we are the exclusive U.S. distributor for the full range of Belgian bluestone products, direct from the largest dimensional quarry in Europe. And this stone you can get honed here. Honed is just the most basic.
It's
you know,
it's a little bit. It doesn't have a finish on it. It's
Right.
a little rough.
It's natural.
Yeah.
And it's smooth, but
Right.
you can use that for anything. And there are many distributors who can get it in 12 weeks or who might have 377 feet, in their warehouse.
An odd number of
things like
feet
that.
laying around.
Right.
Because this is a big challenge for everybody right now, globally.
Right.
Is accessing these materials and getting them here.
Right.
And so you have a direct access to these people, and you can get it in 12 weeks.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's
Absolutely. It hasn't, the lead times haven't changed. The price of shipping has gone up. It's not as bad as shipping from the Orient, which has gone crazy, or, China, Malaysia, Indonesia,
Everything,
India.
everything.
All of every place else, but no, out of shipping out of Antwerp and shipping with, delivering this product. It's good. I
That's
have
good.
the
That's
support of
good.
the company.
So, like I was saying earlier, I've had and I love all of it. And I know you do too. None of it's bad.
Right,
There's
right.
not such a thing as a bad natural stone. I
No.
actually had a client one time. We put in some granite countertops, and there was a vein in it, and he said it's flawed, and I said no, it's actually natural.
Natural. Mother Nature gave
But
you that.
some people,
Right.
that's just how they see it.
Right.
They don't get that. So,
true.
and my point with all this is that we all really do love natural stone. Anybody that's in particularly the high end market that gets to deal with it a lot really likes it. So the challenges have been getting consistent color. And as I look at this stone, I see that there's several different shades. So we've got sort of a gray hue to this, or is that just because it's honed?
That is called Stone, and these are all different finishes. It is all
But see,
the
when
same
I get
stone.
a little bit of on there, it turns it a little darker. So I like that. That's kind of cool.
But as we speak, it's going to dry.
Yes.
But with any natural stone, you can put an enhancer on it if you want it to be a little darker or to stay a little darker. But Belgian bluestone, you don't need to put anything on it. And it's really just a water.
It feels
cleaning.
almost like it's a granite texture.
Well, it's a very
hard.
dense stone. It is. It's very non-porous, so it's perfect for, freeze and thaw stable. It can be used.
Do you use it interior on countertops
Yes.
a lot?
Oh,
Would
my
you put it in a
goodness.
kitchen?
Absolutely. It's a great worktop. You can use it throughout the whole house as flooring. You can use it decoratively. You can use it in the shower because it's friendly with water. There's no problem.
And so you told me that it's gone through some tests to meet
Yes.
some criteria. I didn't know they did that with stone.
They do.
Real briefly
They
tell
do.
us what that is.
Well, okay, so the technical attributes that you're looking for when you're looking for a natural stone are the density, the porosity, the compressive strength, the flexural strength, and the the resistance to abrasion. So this particular stone exceeds all European and U.S. standards for commercial and residential building. So you can actually build an entire, residence out of this. You can build the walls, everything.
Hey,
It's
we got some
very-
images that show just that, don't we? We've got, we're going to show some images here that one of them is somewhere in Greece. I don't know where it is, of the wall. What is this?
Well, you have to wait and see, and then I'll explain it.
Okay. Well, as soon as he gets the images up, we'll start talking about them.
Okay.
So this is a stone that, like, from a design standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
that's there's a lot of where we've tried to use certain stones. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Where we tried, like in this image right here.
Right.
This all looks like it's travertine, which is a limestone.
It is.
And we use a lot of travertine, but there's certain stones that look beautiful, but they don't work everywhere.
Right.
You
So
know?
on the first slide, and we don't have to go back, but so this shows kind of what's in the market. If you're looking for natural stone, you can get all sorts of shades of creams and neutrals and taupes and beige. But what if your color palette, you don't want those warm color tones throughout the home, or maybe you want them in part of the home in a hardwood floor, but then you want a little contrast in stone. So as you can see, these are pictures back in the day of me on design projects where I was using travertine. and
Which we still use a lot of.
Sure.
We still
No,
use
it's
a lot of.
it's
Yeah.
fabulous.
Yeah, it's
And
beautiful. But the problem that I've had in the past is people want to use it in the wrong places.
Right.
And I don't know if there's a right and a wrong. I just know that sometimes if you use travertine outside, travertine
Mm-hmm.
can be very, very slippery.
Yes.
And so you have to be careful with these products where you put them.
Right.
For other reasons other than just the
How
aesthetics.
they look.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the great thing about Belgian bluestone from our company is that we can direct you on there. Many of these are slip resistant, the finishes. So,
So you have a lot.
put them
So
by
you
the
have some
pool.
options where you can
You
put them.
do.
You can use them inside or outside safely.
Right.
Yeah. And I know, folks, that you can do the same thing. You can use a honed travertine or limestone, but there's
Mm-hmm.
some other things that are problems with those materials, particularly in wet areas.
Right.
They tend to, particularly limestone. Gosh, I got to tell you, if I've had nightmares with natural stone in wet areas, it almost always has to do with efflorescence, which is a huge problem with any limestone. So if you want to put it in a shower, be ready. It takes an awful lot of work and expense to get a shower made out of, that's got limestone walls and floors in it, to get it waterproof enough to where it's resistant to efflorescence. And efflorescence is that white chalky substance that comes up in the grout lines and stains the face of that stone as well. And so what I'm always looking for as a contractor and a builder is a material that I don't have to have my client call me up in 3 weeks and say,
Right.
gosh, I've got this problem with this stuff, coming out. Now, any natural stone's going to have a tendency to do that, but some of them seem to be really bad. Slate's really bad. Limestone's really bad. This stone is a lot denser. Limestone's like
It
a
is.
big old sponge. This
Right.
stuff is a lot denser, and I don't know.
is.
I think that if you use, now we have grouts that you can use, acrylic grouts and
Right.
epoxy grouts
Right.
that really would fight the grout issue, you know.
Right. Right.
And then if this is dense enough, water resistant enough, then that'll take care of the surface.
Absolutely.
I love your product.
Absolutely.
It's great.
No,
it's great.
Fabulous.
Yeah. And so we contact who to get it? Who are these
contact
wonderful people?
You contact me directly. And I might as well tell you, we have a website, and you can contact me through the website as well. And it's just bellblue.com.
Okay.
BELLEBLOO.com.
And that's Sherry Muller. I said Mueller because that's how she
That's
spells it. And so I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. It's Sherry Mueller. Give Sherry a call if you're looking for an alternative. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Imagine this, a totally
was it?
customized, organized, and beautiful master closet. A home office that fits right into a perfect space. A pantry designed specifically for your storage needs. Imagine your home totally organized. It's time to call the design professionals at Closets by Design DFW and turn your dreams into a reality. With a design staff over 30 strong, Closets by Design works directly with you to create your dream space, and they build it locally, helping support the DFW community. Check them out at dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010. Use the promo code RRV to find out about the amazing specials and discounts available. That's dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010. And don't forget that promo code RRV, Closets by Design. Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution. I'm your host, Alex Guthrie. This is the show where there's no politics, no sports, no mean people. We're coming to you from deep in the heart of the great state of Texas. That's Big D, if you happen to be looking on a map. Hey, we've got a great guest today. Her name is Sherry Muller. She lives in Dallas, but she's actually a designer from California. And I asked Sherry the other day, Sherry, what do we need to do to make these California people happy, the ones that are moving down here? Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to grill her. Well, as we all know, and we keep talking about this, we are seeing this mass migration out of Cali. And a lot of them are coming to Big D. It ends up that recently they're talking about how Dallas is the place to go globally. I mean, I'm born and raised here, folks, and Dallas has always been a nice little town to me. Not anymore. It's gotten really big. Everybody wants to be in Texas, and I sure don't blame them. It's a wonderful place. Sherry and I were talking, and Sherry was a designer in California. She's from California, but she, a couple of years ago, relocated to Big D. We will eventually turn her into a Texan. It's, there's a process involved in that. And so I said, Sherry, what do we need to do to make California people feel welcome in their homes? What do we need to do from a design standpoint? And welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's so good to have you. It's so good to have you. And so, every city, town, state, our little society we all live in, we all have our little thing. In Texas, it's boots and hats, and at least that's what people think. And they don't realize how sophisticated Dallas is.
Right.
Houston and Dallas actually are very sophisticated cities, as is Austin. Our big cities are. I don't want to leave out Fort Worth. I love Fort Worth. Actually, I absolutely love Fort Worth. Fort Worth's a different place. They're very more traditional than we are here. We're very, and they're incredibly cosmopolitan in Fort Worth as well.
Sure.
The museums, and it's a very interesting place. But we're talking about Big D. And all of these people from California that are moving here. What would you say?
And I think since we're sort of talking about the high-end market, the luxury market this morning, natural elements are important, just like they are here in Dallas. I've been on job sites and I see what people are doing, and it's a lot of beautiful woods, mixed with stone, black iron. There's a lot of contemporary architecture going on here, where they take some of those gorgeous older homes in Highland Park or University Park, and they doze them, and they build a very modern structure with a lot of angles and a lot of straight lines.
I have to tell you something. Now, you sent me some images, and Ben's going to put those up.
Okay.
And I have grown up as a builder, remodeler, and Texas boy with a real traditional background.
Okay.
That's what I was trained to do. So I was trained to do, I've done many high-end homes, many high-end things with them, but it was always with a traditional leaning.
Sure.
On the design aspect, what we call traditional. It still was I would think, an old European model type thing, right? And so it's been really challenging for me to accept modern, contemporary, what they're calling now transitional, which I hate that word, design, right? Because transitional to me means no commitment. It's like, it's not it's a little this, it's a little that. It's saying we're trying to make everybody happy. I don't like it. I think you should be one or the other and be happy with it. So now elements, so they're taking elements of contemporary and they're introducing it into a traditional home. When you do it right, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. I've done kitchens like this. I love them. I love everything about them. But you've got to be careful with your design. I will tell you this. You sent me these images of these houses that are contemporary, and I find them to be works of art. I always thought of contemporary and even transitional as white walls, straight lines, blah, blah, blah. I mean, the only thing that makes a difference is the quality of the workmanship to me. Because I've been in houses, as I know you have, and they're contemporary. They got the straight lines, the sharp corners, everything's angular. But you look at it and you see the flaws in the quality. If the quality isn't right, if the edges aren't sharp, if the texture isn't right, or the non-texture, if that all isn't done right, and then the color is so important, it doesn't look good.
Right. You notice every
stands
detail.
out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because each element serves a purpose. And we'll look at some images, but in Los Angeles, and I've broken it into two categories. Okay, so this is a home high above Sunset Boulevard. It's in Bel Air, and it's funny what's happening in this area. It's all about the view. It is all about the view, and they're building homes. They're buying properties for maybe $5-10 million, bulldozing them. and then putting on a $50 million
I mean,
property.
why not bulldoze a cheap little
It-
$10 million property?
Well, there is just
I
stupid
kn-
money
I
in
knew
LA.
I should have
I'm
been an
telling
actor. Why
you.
wasn't I an actor? I'm sorry, mommy.
Well, there you go. So in this particular home, the walls kind of, they all close in or they all open up. And it's important in LA because you don't have the bugs and you have fabulous weather.
So in the discussion about the design aspects and the details of this type of architecture is really the surfaces.
It is.
It's all the surfaces.
It's like artisan finished, sleek, walls can be completely clad in stone. A lot of that is going on in Beverly Hills, Bel Air, Hollywood Hills, where you walk in and the whole thing is like polished stone. You can't hang a painting on it. They have a few walls where you can,
So
do
you have to think
something,
all
but
that through
You do.
in the initial. This image right here is so beautiful, the way they blend it into the landscape. It's
Right.
just amazing.
Right.
Just
This
amazing.
is the
And essentially,
contemporary-
it's color. It's the
Right.
color.
It is the color. It is the color. It's very somber. In Europe, and we'll talk about that later, but the color palette is very natural and sophisticated and really grabs your attention.
Yeah.
And they're doing a lot more of that.
So the
Here.
point of my discussion with Sherry today is really centers around things that I think really we all come from the same place. There's
Right.
there's a commonality with
Right.
all of us, whether you're coming here from California or you're already here.
Right.
And some of it's generational.
Yes.
I really believe that. I've done a lot of soul searching the last couple of years because I've noticed these generational differences. The people that I worked for 30 years ago, it's their grandkids now calling.
Wow.
And so they're well, man, they're kids and grandkids, and they are they want different things. Every generation wants something different
Yes.
than the last.
They want to make their mark.
And so
Right.
the trick in our business is kind of staying up with that and being able to change with it.
Right.
It's hard to do. It's a
It is
challenge.
hard to do.
Yeah. So, this is a beautiful home. Where is this?
Right. This is in Europe. This is actually in Europe. I think we're cycling through some LA images and Europe at the same time. So, but yes, this is mixing. As you can see, there's more of a traditional wood floor to the left.
So we're blending a lot of natural
blending-
elements.
yes.
Plus, they have all these big openings, so you're bringing the outside in.
Right.
So you're kind of, it's almost like you're creating views all over the house when you're in the right place, and it's not your
Exactly.
neighbor's fence.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's see, what do we have next on the images? We
Well,
may have missed a few.
Yeah,
Did
well,
we?
I think
That's
we got
okay.
our point.
Oh, good.
But we welcome everybody from California and New
Right.
York.
We're
and
nice folks.
You are nice folks. We love you to death, and we're glad you're here. And how do you like it? What's your impression? 2
Oh,
years. 2 years. You either
I
love
do
it or
love
you're
it.
ready to go back.
No, you know what? People are very friendly. There's a lot more culture here than I thought. What I didn't know is that the gentleman who basically did the layout and design for Beverly Hills also did downtown Dallas. He did kind of the Highland Park area. So when I drive through that area, I feel like I'm in Beverly Hills, which is very strange, and I don't think people know that exists here.
Well, see, we think that Beverly Hills was designed after us.
Well, we could do a research project and see He actually designed first, but
No, I know.
yeah.
That's amazing, and thank you so much for having this discussion with me today. And welcome to Texas.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
it's
Thrilled
always
to
it's
be here.
always fun talking to you. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. It's only a few short weeks until we'll be running our air conditioners all day and all night. Hey, it's time to get an HVAC tune-up scheduled. Call my friends at Total Air and Heat in Plano, Texas at 972-881-0020 right now and get on their schedule for a tune-up. Don't wait for the long lines. Get ahead of the crowd. Total Air has been servicing North Dallas and Plano and Richardson areas for over 60 years. Steve and Justin Lawton sell and service Carrier brand heating and cooling systems with Green Speed Intelligence technology. So give them a call at 972-881-0020 or contact them at totalair.com. Hey, don't forget to follow us on all your social media. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and share on YouTube, and check us out on all your social media platforms. Don't forget to watch Remodel Revolution on your smart TV, on Texas Weather Tracker TV, on Roku, Android, Apple, and Amazon TV, Sundays at 1 and 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution. I'm your host, Alex Guthrie. We're coming to you from deep in the heart of the great state of Texas, from the city of Big D. I have invited a very, very wonderful lady to come on today and talk about European architecture and design. And so Sherry Muller is going to join us in a few minutes. Stay tuned. Well, when this country was settled and when we started building modern homes, and I don't mean modern design, I mean just modern homes in the way back when in the 30s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, the ones that I've worked on all my life, those old homes were designed and built by the European masters. The architecture, the techniques to build them came from Europe. That's where our ancestors came from. And so we still use a lot of those same techniques. The basic way of building a house really hasn't ever changed. It's 4 walls and a roof. And so the craftsmanship has changed a little bit, but those early craftsmen, the Europeans were amazing people, and they still are. And Sherry and I were talking about our guest, Sherry Muller. She's a designer here in Dallas. And Sherry and I were talking about, I asked her to spend some time with us and explain to us some of the European design and influences that we get in our design here, because I love it so much. So welcome to the show, Miss Sherry Muller. And
Thank you, Alex.
it's so great to see you. And we've got some slides. We have some images to show. Let's pop them up there and let's get to it.
Well, we're going to look at something very specific here. This is high-end contemporary architecture by Vincent van Duysen, who is a renowned Belgian architect. And this just shows a large residence with a pool in front. I think the next image shows it from a different angle. Yes.
Oh man,
so
that
now
is
you
so
see,
beautiful. Wow.
and you can see that what is there is all that's essential. You've got a big pool, you've got an area where you can sit beside the pool or, lay out.
You could go.
and
You
then you've
could
got
fly.
your
You could
house.
practice your fly fishing in that
You
pool.
might be able
I
to
think
fish
I have
out
a
of that
really
pool.
good. I have a good use for that
Put a
pool.
canoe in there if you'd like. But yes, so this is something that he is known for.
That's beautiful. That is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes. So next, this is another room in a home that he designed, and he is a minimalist. Whatever he does, he uses the highest quality materials, and it's perfection.
So when you're doing this, and to kind of this speaks to my opening remarks about the European masters that came over here and designed and built our
Right.
original homes and buildings. The quality of craftsmanship here is stunning, and that's not by accident.
Right.
You can't have people that build production houses do something like this. They can't do it and
No.
make it look right.
No.
This takes somebody with the desire to have somebody look at a photo of their work and say, "Wow."
Right.
Yeah, right?
It is a piece of art.
It is a piece
It's
of art.
unique.
And this
Everything he
is
does is one of a kind.
and I'm seeing this, and this discussion came up because as I was looking at some contemporary pictures Sherry had sent me of homes here in Dallas and in LA, I noticed that the first thing that struck me was the use of natural materials and the quality, and how you can take that minimalist house and it's just stunning. It's not full of frilly stuff. Yeah, it's not.
It's sort of a lesson in geometry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is an interesting view because if you see the tree in the background, there's sort of a little courtyard in the middle of this home.
Mm-hmm.
So there are wide plank floors, very pale white.
So
plank
what
floors.
happens here is I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No.
What happened, here's what I see as
Okay.
not being a designer. What
Okay.
I see is a blend of old and new. What I see is a blend of a very modern, contemporary, linear look. And then I
Right.
see those beautiful old wood floors
Right.
that I'm not sure if they make the walls stand out in the windows or if it's vice versa, but it works
Right.
so
Isn't it
beautiful
pretty?
together. Yeah.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah.
So, and then this is just the hallway to the angular shot we saw 2 slides ago. You don't have to go back, but do you see there's just like a block of wood is the
bench.
bench.
Yeah.
And it's perfect, and it's probably smooth to the touch.
And it goes to the ceiling. It
Right.
goes
High
with the ceiling.
ceilings and just
And
two
again,
basically hanging light bulbs. And he also designs light fixtures and oftentimes the furnishings. of
and
his
so
home.
it's a blend of these different types of design and architecture. And that's what makes it so fascinating to me.
Right, right.
This is amazing. I
Isn't
want
this
this.
amazing? So, and I think this is a fabulous idea for Dallas. In Belgium, it rains a lot. So a lot of people who have money have indoor pools, but they also have glass where you can slide them off in the summertime. So, for instance, here, this is just adjacent to the kitchen. And this used to be the barn. So Vincent Van Dyson transformed the barn into a swimming room. And this is a sort of a typical
You
thing
could like
in
wash
Belgium,
the
out in the
horses.
countryside.
You bring the ponies in, put them
You-
in the pool. I
You
get it.
could.
I get it. What a brilliant move.
Right. Now, this is something because some people may recognize his name. So he's actually doing 2 collections for Sutherland Furniture, Sutherland Outdoor Furniture. And there's the Sutherland showroom right here in Dallas. So this is one of his collections. And again, it's pretty sparse, but it's just really
that's
good
the same
quality.
architect. That's the same architect. What's his name?
Vincent Van Dyson.
Okay, that's beautiful. That's incredible.
Right. And then this is his second collection for them. And it's teak, and it's got a bluestone top.
Wow.
And so again, it's wood, it's stone, it's natural elements with clean lines and utilitarian. I think if you look at this table, you see that the corners are just rounded. So you're not going to knock your hip as you walk by.
So we're out of time, but
Okay.
I wanted to do that video to show our audience some of the beauty of linear modern design
Right.
and blending it with natural. It's really, really, really beautiful. It's
Absolutely.
absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
And folks, when you do this or you ask your designer or builder to do this, remember, this is really high quality stuff. This has to be done really with a craftsman. It's not something you can just go and buy. It's got to be created by somebody that's proud of what they do. Not dissing people. It's just that we don't have a whole lot of people that are trained to do it. So be careful who you have do it, because the corners of the walls have to be perfect. The lines have to be straight. Look, I just fixed a house. And if you'll go to my YouTube channel and subscribe to Remodel Revolution, you will see that one of the video thingies I've got on there, I don't know what they're called, is called the Rescue House. And they went in and tried to convert a traditional house to a transitional or modern. Well, let me tell you something. I think that the guy doing the windows was standing in a hole with one leg, because everything was an inch out of level. And we had to redo the whole house. That's how important it is to get line. And the first thing, when I walked in there, the first thing I said to the homeowner was, we have to redo it all because I can see things that aren't, they don't line up. They're out. It was horrible. So anyway,
Wow.
Thank you so much.
It's been great.
I
being
really
here.
appreciate you coming in today and spending time with us.
Thank
And
you.
we'll do this again.
I would love to.
Okay, we'll do it again. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Imagine this, a totally customized, organized, and beautiful master closet. A home office that fits right into a perfect space. A pantry designed specifically for your storage needs. Imagine your home totally organized. It's time to call the design professionals at Closets by Design DFW and turn your dreams into a reality. With a design staff over 30 strong, Closets by Design works directly with you to create your dream space, and they build it locally, helping support the DFW community. Check them out at dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010. Use the promo code RRV to find out about the amazing specials and discounts available. That's dallas.closetsbydesign.com or call them at 972-361-0010. And don't forget that promo code RRV, Closets by Design. Welcome to another episode of Remodel Revolution. I'm your host, Alex Guthrie. I'm coming to you live from the world headquarters of Remodel Revolution, from deep in the heart of the great state of Texas, Dallas, Texas, that is. Today I've invited a very special friend of mine and a friend of the show, Mr. Gary Neidert with Show Technologies, and we're going to talk about home and garden shows. Stay tuned. haven't had one of those in a long time. My good friend Gary Neidert is here with us, and we've known each other a long time, mostly through the home and garden shows that Gary's worked for decades. And guess what? It's the season for home and garden shows.
Yes, it is.
I mean, it's been like a year or two, or I don't know how long it's been since there's been one. A year anyway.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're back.
I'm back. Yep.
Wow. Tell us about it.
Well, I am with Show Technology now. And
I don't care about you. I care about the show.
the show's okay. Well, Show Technology, yeah, produces home and garden shows in Dallas, Fort Worth, other parts of Texas, as well as other parts of the country. Show Technology has been around for a little over 30 years and almost 20 years here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So, coming up in August, Yippee-Ki-Yay Fort Worth Home and Garden Show.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Wear your boots in your hat.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be August 13 through 15 at Will Rogers Memorial Center.
Is that the old one or the new one?
Old.
The old Will. They just built a new.
Oh,
a
yeah.
new
This
thing.
is not the new arena. This is the
the
old.
old Will Rogers.
Yeah, the old exhibit hall.
Well, I'll tell you what, that place has got some ghosts in it. It's got some characters in it.
It's got some
I've done a lot of shows there, and it's a lot of fun. I love Will Rogers. It's
Yeah.
great. And you could take the train from Dallas to Fort Worth and just walk right over to it.
Yeah. I don't know if you could walk to it from the train station, but you could probably get an Uber.
You can walk to it because I've done it.
Oh, you have? Well, that tells you how much. I just always go straight to the
Well,
Will Rogers.
You're
know.
a modern kind of guy.
I guess.
I walk. I'm cheap. I'm gonna pay Uber anyway. So you have a lot of exhibitors this year. How's all that going? You're having you're starting from scratch really on
Yes.
these shows.
Yeah. Last year, 2020, was a hard year for everybody, as
Right.
we well know. And it was not kind to the event industry, whether it was a trade show
Right.
or a consumer show. So there were no fall shows last year. We had a couple of shows in the spring, and so we're now starting to get back into this. I suspect that we're going to have a pent-up demand for people to want to be out, based on what I've seen just in getting out, like going to Costco.
Well, let's talk about why people would want to go to this show. I mean, I can just pick this phone up right here, and I can just go shop. Right? I
Yeah.
can see all their websites. I can see anything I want on this. So why bother? I have the answer.
Can you shake hands with an email?
There you go.
Can you look them straight in the eye in an email?
Right.
So it's the personal touch, live and in person, talking to someone at the booth about the particular project that the homeowner.
Maybe talking
What
to
to
the
do.
person that's going to be working on your house.
That's true. Very true.
You know,
Yeah.
you're kind of interviewing them.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. You get to interview the contractor.
And you see, you can touch and feel. I always tell my clients, I want you to go touch and feel stuff. Don't just look it up on the internet and go, wow, that looks cool. That's okay too. That gets you started. But if you can, you need it touchy-feely. And I think our designers would agree with that. You need to turn the handle on the faucet. Make sure it feels right to you. Maybe take that faucet and lift it up. You might pick one up that's made out of brass that weighs 5 pounds and pick one up made out of plastic that weighs 1 pound. And you're like, I'll take that one, right?
Yeah.
I'll take the brass one. It's more expensive, but I like it better. And that's what kind of helps you make those decisions. So meeting the people, touching the product, that
Exactly.
type of thing.
Exactly.
And then you get this wide range of people that you can meet. Like if you're doing a project on your house, you can see the cabinet guy, you can see the cabinet person, sorry, you can see the flooring person, the countertop, whatever it is.
Landscaping, kitchen remodel, bathroom remodel. There's a whole variety of products and services that people can see when they come to the Home and Garden Show.
Okay, so we have Fort Worth in August.
Yes.
Then we have Dallas.
We have Allen in September,
Oh,
and then we skip over to the spring. We'll come back to Fort Worth in February, and then we'll be in Dallas the first weekend of March.
wow. Wow,
And,
you're busy.
Allen will also be in February.
Now, do you
next
still,
year.
are you doing Frisco this year?
Yes, Frisco
Okay.
will be in March of next year.
Okay, wow, okay. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's great. Glad you guys are back.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
glad we're back
Yeah, it'll
too.
be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a lot of fun. Hey, maybe we can talk them into letting me go in there and do something crazy for them. We'll see. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget to go to my YouTube channel, Remodel Revolution, and subscribe. I need subscribers. Please do it. Go to Facebook and like us, share us. Tell us how much you love us. Send me questions. Facebook, send it to alex@remodelrev.com. And until next week, this is Alex Guthrie signing off. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, don't forget to follow us on all your social media. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and share on YouTube, and check us out on all your social media platforms. Don't forget to watch Remodel Revolution on your smart TV, on Texas Weather Tracker TV, on Roku, Android, Apple, and Amazon TV, Sundays at 1 and 3 p.m. Central Standard Time.
The views and opinions of this program are for educational and entertainment purposes only and are not intended to replace the recommendations of a hired professional. You can catch Remodel Revolution anytime. Follow the show on the website, remodelrevolutionradio.com, or on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest, using the handle @Remodel Revolution Radio. You can always listen to the show on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and TuneIn, and watch the show anytime on YouTube.